Hi everybody, it's Matt Ellis, your instructor for ORL 201, and I wanted to just give you some insights into what you're going to be doing this week. This week it's the structural frame, and I just want to give you sort of a high-level overview about what you're going to read and do this week. So just to recap, Unit 1's assignments was about reframing, introducing the idea of reframing and the four frames: structural, HR, political, and symbolic, and you answered a bunch of questions on those. Thank you for doing so. Now we're going to move into the structural frame, which is the first of our four frames. And of course, you know very well, structure is about rules and regulations, procedures, policies, the operational manual, the things that you do to get a job done is highly structural. Project plans, timelines, clear roles and responsibilities, the mission, high-level expectations that then roll down into people's work responsibilities. This is all about structure. But the book, Bowman and Deal, answer two other important questions. How do we allocate resources across different units and with different roles? And the other question that gets answered in this reading is, how do we integrate these diverse efforts in pursuit of one organizational common set of goals? So those are two questions that will be answered throughout the reading this week. There's also two concepts that are key to the structural frame. One is differentiation, and that's how the work gets allocated. The other is integration, which is how do you coordinate the work once it's been assigned, because obviously there are different business areas ultimately achieving the same goal, and that integration is important. A few other things. There's two concepts: vertical and lateral coordination of how work gets done. You'll read about that. And these two concepts are very familiar to you. They're just two terms that Bowman and Deal and other business researchers use. It'll be a very familiar idea: vertical and lateral coordination. You'll also see specific organizational structures. These are the org charts, and they're very familiar to you, and some that are quite different. And they're under a person who has been doing a lot of research on organizational structure called Mintzberg, and these 5 models are called Mintzberg's 5. So keep an eye out for that. And these pictures are really how organizations are set up, how the authority gets doled out, right? Higher to lower, or perhaps left to right. And this shows what's important to the organization. So look for that. There's also some cases about restructuring an organization, and the case for restructuring is really depicted in 3 separate cases that you'll see. So it's how restructuring got done in 3 different kinds of organizations. So keep a lookout for that. Finally, how teams are configured, and the analogy is somewhat about using sports analogies like a football team and a basketball team and a baseball team. But I think they're pretty effective, even though if you're not a sports fan, you'll still be able to get what the authors mean using these 3 types of teams to talk about how individuals interact for a common purpose. So I think you'll like that. And also finally, there'll be some work on what individual traits are needed for teams to be successful, and Bowman and Deal talk about that for a little bit. So this is just a high-level overview of what you're going to see in this week's reading. You're doing a great job so far. Continue the good work. I'm here if you need me. Contact me by cell, and we look forward to seeing your work for this week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.